Gotta look through some log files. Let's use PowerShell and regular expressions to find what we need. In this case, we're using a door service. I have a folder with a whole bunch of log files in it, and then I've chosen one for us to build our regular expression off of. Let's see what we're working with here. Throw in that total count so we don't have to see the whole thing, and let's see what they look like. Yeah, as usual, we've got some date times, some levels, info and warn. We probably have some error. They are all door service. Over here we have door ID. We're going to want to key off of that, or capture that, I should say. We have user IDs that we definitely want. But in this case, we're going to do that only for the files or lines where they have open attempt failed, because we're also going to want to capture that invalid badge or whatever reason there is for it. Let's throw this up here as a test line for us to work off of. We can comment that line out, and we'll call this test line. That way we can build off of it. And then we're going to build a regular expression. And we're going to actually throw that same exact line in there and build our expression from this right here. We don't need any of that at the moment. You may want to capture that date time group at some point, but in this case, for this example, we're not going to. However, we do want to capture this. As we can see down here, all of them are a capital letter and then a number. So if I come up here and replace that with A to Z all capital character group, this right here is a number we're going to replace with \D. This is going to go in parentheses to become a capture group, and we're going to name it as door ID. So there is our door ID capture group. That'll come up later. You'll see that. It's quite handy. Open attempt failed. That's actually what we're keying off of, a literal exact term that we're looking for. Leave that in there. Here are some parentheses. We have to escape a parenthesis. So if we go to the beginning of that, throw in a \, right there around each parenthesis, that's going to say, hey, escape that. Make sure you capture it. We need to know that's exactly in that line. That's not part of the regular expression. This we're going to throw into parentheses, but we don't want to leave invalid badge. There could be many reasons. It's not just one. So what we're going to do is say we need a named capture group for this, and that is going to be the reason why. And it could be anything, but you notice that it always ends in a parenthesis right there. So let's give it a named or a character class where it's anything but that closing parenthesis. So anything until you find that closing parenthesis. Throw in a plus symbol after the character class so that you know it's not capturing one, but it's capturing as many as it can up until it reaches that closing parenthesis. The last thing we're going to want to capture is this guest name, or in this case it's a user ID. That is the end of the line there. So we're going to want to make sure that we identify that, because that's the end of the line. Don't capture anything after that. This could be any uppercase, lowercase, might be some numbers in there. These are user IDs, so we don't exactly know what they are. We're going to give it a capture group named user ID, and that is going to be the character class A to Z lowercase, A to Z uppercase, 0 to 9, and I'm going to throw underscore in there. If you have other characters that can be in your user IDs, you may want to throw those in there. Now this, I need to also give that plus symbol, because we don't want just one of any of those letters. We want any of those characters, as many as you can, until we hit that end of the line. That should be what we need for this regular expression. Let's see if test line matches that regex that we've got down there. We'll clear all of this with Control L. We're going to hit F5. That's going to run it and give us true. This does match. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. So let's go ahead and run this on the rest of that single log path. And we're going to throw in the where object. That's going to filter this down where each one of those matches that regex. And let's see if we can get that to show us some lines. And we do. We see two of them. Perfect. Now, we don't want it to spit out the entire line, though. Let's throw in a for each object and open that up. In there, we're going to throw a PS custom object added. This is going to allow us to output just what we want with properties and values. What are those properties called? Well, we've named them already, actually. So this door ID is going to be, thanks to this match search, it's going to give us this matches variable, and then there are keys in there off of that door ID that we just captured. I'm going to use Shift Alt down arrow twice because I want to copy that down, but we have two other properties to give it. They're not door ID. They are also reason and user ID. Let's see what that gives us. Does it give us these same lines, but as properties in? Yes, it does. Our door ID, reason, and user ID. Now the last thing I want to do is I'm going to clear that out, and I'm going to say, don't look in that one log path. Look in all of those. And what do we get? We get a whole bunch of them. That's exactly what we wanted. We took a line out of a log, copied what we needed out of it. We named some capture groups. We used the match, and it gave us a matches variable with the keys for the properties that we wanted. There's how you do it.